Hi, welcome. On this video, this is day 2 of service dog training with Tiny. Tiny is a 1-year-old German Shepherd. This is phase 1 of the service dog training process. And on the last video, in terms of the basic relationship changing method, okay, you'll see some little bit of conflict happening initially. Now, just within 2 days, this is just day 2, even here, you'll see the agreeableness level of Tiny really begin to take shape. Okay, Tiny's becoming more and more accepting, more agreeable of these specific interactions with which create change. Okay, right now it's all about fading into the process the right way, and that's what creates focus. Okay, for service dog training to help connect dogs to task-specific things that I want Tiny to do. Now again, I'm still using the pressure collar, okay, to help me gain some leverage here for Tiny to be more accepting, okay. This gives me a little bit of the ability to control, okay, these interactions a little better. But again, ultimately, as things progress, you'll see me switch over to the flat collar as Tiny becomes more agreeable, okay, to these interactions, which she already is. Even here, yesterday's video, you saw kind of the raw beginning of the process where I came out and I couldn't even turn around to talk this way. I had to get right into the method, right? So I didn't even have even a level of agreeableness like this where I could stand still and have Tiny be accepting of just this level of control like this. So this is great progress already in terms of Tiny becoming more and more accepting of me being in control this way. And so here on this video, day 2, you're going to see me adding to the method. Okay, I'm going to be starting to incorporate some down influence. Okay, where I'm going to put some down pressure on Tiny during the basic method. So you see me, just me walking around doing a bit of a circle, we call circle method. You're going to see me stopping along the way. Again, it's about really good integrity of the method. And adding a little bit of down pressure. Now the issue with the down isn't about acceptance that way. It's not just about a position, okay? This is different in the way of how influence comes online, okay? But again, Tiny, by way of how I'm asserting influence, okay, is that Tiny knows the intent. So I'm not using commands that way yet. I'm not using verbal language. It's about packaging, okay? It's about fading in. And once I fade in at a certain level, just like establishing parental influence, right? Then my verbal language becomes more meaningful, okay? Based on how it ties in with what these interactions represent. So it's the language of the method, okay? So it's how I'm interacting in specific ways which Tiny makes sense of, okay? Based on doing the same thing each time. Now I will be adding on more and more to the method, but Tiny knows, okay? Tiny's like saying, okay, Dale is asserting influence a certain way. I know what his intentions are. I'm going to accept or be agreeable to it based on the type of influence, okay? So that's the whole goal here, is about making it so that Tiny understands. And it's based on what these interactions are doing to create change. So again, I'm going to start moving here with Tiny, and I'm going to be stopping a lot, okay? I really want to make sure I have good integrity of method. But you're going to see, I would encourage you to watch the videos day by day and really pay attention to the agreeableness really take hold, okay? Tiny becoming more and more agreeable, and focus, okay? The level of focus changing, shifting onto me. You'll see the kind of inwardness, okay? And that's what establishes change, okay? So again, let's start moving here with Tiny. I'm going to stop times. Put Tiny into sit position. See how much easier it is. I do a little push-pull here. I'm going to do some down pressure right here, okay? So I'm just leaning into a little bit. Look at that. Fantastic. Okay, Tiny's going into the down. Now to bring Tiny up from the down to a sit, just some pressure here. Just so she understands. I want her to come up. And when she comes up, put her right back into a sit, okay? We'll do another push-pull. I'm pushing up, doing it too hard. Just push-pull. That helps create more of a kind of an eye-on moment. And then, again, I'm going to walk forward a little bit and stop again. So my hands available here. Assert influence for the sit. But it's the interaction that's the focus, not the kind of finishing result of the sit. Of course, that's a great indicator that, that Tiny is accepting, but understand it's the interaction. Okay, interaction is how influence is intercepting the interactions that's creating change. Okay, move forward. Now, when I'm doing the down position and just starting out here, I'm not doing it every time, okay? I'm doing it for every 3 or 4 sits. But again, I would encourage people is when the dog's holding a lot of control of the relationship, do not try to do the down right away. Give it 2 or 3 or 4 days, and then, just like here, then start to add some of that down pressure. So even here, it's not about, so Tiny gets really challenging, a lot of conflict with the down. I'll stop at a certain point. Here, I'm going to do it. A little push-pull when she's down here, and then for the sit, see a little pressure. So she came up really easily that time, okay? Now, there's a bit of a kinetic technique I can apply if the dog is really, pushing hard to not want to come up. I can kind of move the leash at a little bit of an angle, and they'll pop up a little easier that way. It changes their focus, okay? So, but that's a little bit of a technique-wise I can do that. But I usually don't apply too much of that. I want to make sure there's depth here, okay? So it's not about trickery that way, okay? It's really about making sure the dog is accepting or agreeable the way that the method lines up. Again, the sit position, little push-pull, move forward. Good integrity, okay? But you see the level of conflict really go down here, okay? She's really much more agreeable today. Even I've been taking her out to the bathroom, going, even the crate. She's starting to move forward in the crate board. And when I come out, she's even like giving me her paw. It's funny. She'd be like putting her paw out for me to kind of give her a little handshake here before she comes out. It's pretty. She has a personality for sure. So same thing, move forward. You notice here how I'm using the choke chain, okay? It's just about how you use a tool like that. It's just like it's a go-between tool. I don't crank and yank on dogs, okay? It's more like a little bit of nudging, okay? It helps me gain a little bit more control, communication, okay? Speaking language, and then the flat collar's on her at the same time. I don't even have a remote collar on her right now. I just took it off. I barely have had to use it now for inside the crate. She's really starting to, yesterday she was trying to push hard to get out of that crate. Today she's not doing it at all. She's starting to relax. She's going on her back. Okay, she's getting very relaxed because the stress is coming off of her already. Because I'm doing everything the same. It makes sense to her. I'm fulfilling the role properly. I'm doing everything the same each time. So that's why it makes sense of it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I've already had her out today around other people, more confined areas, and her level of investment is already diminishing, okay? So I'm already starting to work her already around other people. And you'll see more and more of that as I do the videos. Same thing, I want her right here. Moving the hand over. Right? Push, pull. And those I'm not rewarding, okay? I'm not getting caught up in giving her all this lavishing praise and rewarding, because this is about relationship, okay? This is about me establishing my proper role, and I'm happy, okay? I can feel good about it, because if I start to touch all over her and pet all over her, that might make good optics and people like to see that, but it's not helping the relationship, okay? It's like being a parent and reversing, okay, fixing a relationship first. So you have to try to keep the emphasis on what the method's doing to reverse and get her to release control, okay? So she knows I have her best interests at heart. I'm not being a bully. I'm doing what's reasonable, okay? She's accepting of it. This consistency with what I'm doing here. See me move forward. See how well this is lining up? I mean, I love Shepherds. I mean, I have a special affinity for German Shepherds. She's a beautiful dog. Great colors, great weight, okay? Going on here a little bit. Now, see a little moment there? There comes a point where, here's the thing, you'll see it. At a certain point coming around, she'll want to go to her crate a little bit, saying, you know what, I want to get out from underneath this a little little bit. Dale's taking me around an extra lap or two here. But that's just like a moment. When that happens, just nudge her, keep her going. Just nudge her, say, I'm saying to her, no, I'll end this on my time, still with what's reasonable, okay? When I do this, I don't try to push it and keep pushing it beyond what I know she's going to accept. I'm doing a little bit more every time, okay? A little bit more expectation each time. But it's the fairness of what you're doing, okay? So, because I want her to come into agreement. I don't want to cause undue conflict, okay? So, that's the whole point of what you're doing. So, influence is a necessary ingredient, okay? But it's about how you're doing it so that you want acceptance. You don't want to remove, again, you want to stay away from using motivators because then you go in the other direction, okay, where dogs can hold control through that. You don't want to do that either. So it's just about striking the right balance here in terms of method, okay? Same thing, I just kind of tap her. Even here, if I move forward, you see me just subtly nudge her back a little bit just to keep her right exactly where I want her. This gets into starting to do the default sit. And you move into that as we progress along here, where she's just going to automatically sit for me when I slow down. So everything's starting to happen already a little bit. Okay, it's all understanding, what the goals are. But see how I barely have to touch her now to get her to go into the sit? But I still want to touch her though. I don't want to, when the dog's doing this, and you say, okay, they're starting to go into sit by themselves, still assert some influence, okay? We still want to get in their head the right way here for a period of time. Don't just let it go. Keep pushing a little bit. It doesn't have to be hard, okay, but it's like a wave pressing another wave. Her movements are happening, and her motives are changing, okay, and I'm fading in, but I still want to make sure that I'm still directing her, okay? Same thing, so you move forward. Absolutely great. I'm not just saying, I feel really, really good about even, like, look at that, just perfect. Day 2, doing really well, very happy. I'm adding on to this a little bit. Things will move along. You'll see more and more videos. And again, the goal the first 2 or 3 days especially is just the good integrity of the method, keeping it very basic, and then start to expand it. Okay, so you'll start to see me interact with other dogs, other people, okay, other situations. So the first focus of the first phase is really on the foundation, okay, through relationship, control, fading in, and then we start to expand from there. But again, she's doing excellent. Great dog. Very happy with it, with the process, with her. She's doing great. Thanks for watching.